Hello and aloha everybody, Abdullah here and back again with another video for Python programming learning tutorials. And in this video we're going to be talking about lists and how you can work around with them. So let's get started with it. So to make a list in Python, and what a list is actually a sequence of items that you have them all in one place. And how you can define that, you make what have I just did here, and I make a list. List is actually a special name in Python programming language, and I call my list one, but I want to change the name to actually p underscore languages. So programming languages, and in my list I'm probably going to have Python inside, and then I'm going to have Java, and Java is actually here. All of these guys are in strings. Another programming language is JavaScript, and one more I will have Ruby. So all of these are the programming language that I have in my list. Well, if I want to print my list, I can just do print p languages. So I can do print p underscore languages, just like that. I will save this. I'll go here and I will run this file. I'll do Python, and I will say the name of this file, so lists.py. And if I run that, as you can see, I have my list printed out here. But what if I want to link to a specific specific value in this, or item in this list? So if I want to do that, I can come up here and then go to the 0th index, and if I print that, I will get Python. And similarly, if I want to take Java, I can go to 1, save, and then run that, and I get my Java because it's at the first it's at the second index, but then Python counts that as the first, because here this counts as 0, this 1, 2, and 3, because in programming we count from 0. Well, now similarly, as you can count from 0 until the last, what if you want to take Ruby in here? How are you going to go about that? Well, one way is actually just counting all of these. So those are 4, then this is going to be 3, and then if I save this and run it one more time, so you see I get Ruby back. But then another way you can go and take the last item in the list is by reverse indexing, by taking the -1. So -1 is always going to be the last item in the list. So whenever you want to take the last item in the list, just do -1. Save this, run it, and you get Ruby back. Now we could also do sequencing. So if you want multiple values from our list, we could also do something like this. So I started from 0, and give me Python and Java. That means give me from 0, give me all the values until 3, but not including JavaScript, sorry. So when I do here 3, I'm not including JavaScript in my list. So this is going from 0 until 3, not including 3. That's how you can explain that. I'll say that, and then when you run that, okay, until 3 here, but not including JavaScript. Okay, now this is because I put 3 here, and my list actually counting from 0, and I thought, so if you don't want, you want all but not including JavaScript, you should put 2 here, because JavaScript that's position 2, and you only want Python and Java because they are in 0 and 1. Save this and run that again, and you see you got a list of Python and Java. Now what if you want to take JavaScript and Ruby together? How are you going to do that? Another way is actually, and by the way, here we can also skip typing this 0 because we are by default going from 0. So if I run this, I still get the same result. Similarly to that, I will go from 2, then I will go until the end. So I'm not going to put anything in here because by default this is going to be the last element. And now if I run this, as you can see, I get JavaScript and Ruby. And if I start from 1, then that means I'm going to start from Java. Alright, and now since I've done this, now how can you get all the elements in the list? And that is by, not all the elements, I mean counting how many elements do you have in this list, and this by calling the len function, and you can get 4 out of that. That means we have 4 elements in this list. And one more function that we have is that how can we add values to this list, and that is by calling some function called the let me delete this len function. Now save this. So if I do p languages dot, and then here are all the functions that we can use, but then if I want to add any element to this list, I can do this by multiple ways. I can call the append function on it, and inside of append function I can type another programming language like Swift, like that, and then I'll save that, and then I can go up, and then you can see Swift have been added to my list of languages. Now another way is actually by calling a function called insert, and then insert function actually a little bit different, because in insert you can explicitly tell Python where you want to put your value in the list. So if I do p_languages dot insert, and then insert takes 2 arguments. The first argument is the position of where you want to place your value, so I'm going to give it a 2, and because I want this to be in the middle, so 0 1, then 2 is going to be in the middle, and then the rest, and then here is the value, so the value is going to be here. Let's run that again, and as you can see here, Swifts have been added in the middle, but then when we run append is just going to be adding it to the beginning of my list. And now if I want to know what is the index of a specific value in my list, I can do that by calling the index function, and then I give it this, and then I can change this to, because I Python, and as you can see, I need to print this actually. As you can see, I get 0 back in here. That is pointing back to in which index do I have this Python. And yeah, another way of adding stuff to my list is using the extend function, and the extend function is actually used to add other lists to your original list. So let's have an example of that. So if I do p_languages dot extend, and before that I want to call another language, so if I do front end, and then I can say equals to, and then inside I have another list which has HTML and also between those CSS, and I want to add this to my list. So if I can do programming language dot extend front end, and then that is going to take all the elements in my front end and add them to my programming language list. And as you can see here, if I come back here and run this code, as you can see, Python, JavaScript, Ruby, and at the end I have added all of those languages. And there are many other functions to deal with the thing. And certainly also you can also delete stuff from a list, and you can do that by calling the, let me delete this now, programming languages dot remove, and inside of this I can call the which value do I want to remove. So I hate which program that I know. So if I remove Ruby, as you can see, Ruby have been deleted from or removed from my list. And another way is calling the pop function. So pop is going to always, without giving it any argument, it's going to delete or remove the last element in the list. So if I go pop on this and I go back here, and as you can see, Ruby have been deleted this time, but using the pop function without giving it any arguments, because pop organically or originally deletes the last element of the list. And pop also does another very cool thing. You can actually know the pop value and save it into a specific variable. So if I can save this and I want to delete that pop value, instead of printing this, so I want to print the value just like that, and I can come up here and then do this, and you can see Ruby have been added as well. And yeah, that's how you can go about changing stuff into the list. I hope this tutorial was helpful. I will make another tutorial and more expanding more into list, because list is actually a really big topic, and it can be expanded even more, and we can talk about it even more powerfully in the future video. Actually, in this series will be about list, but then expanding more how you can add them, how you can delete them. Maybe I can also introduce for loops and stuff like that. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what do you think of this series, and I hope to see you in the next